Hello pretties, you are watching Pretty Actions, where we like to create super amazing videos going over how to use our awesome products in Photoshop. So today we're going to be using the Pretty Actions film collection, which comes with some amazing actions to give you the complete filmy look. Now this particular image has some light leaks in it that are included in this collection. They are one of my favorites to play with, and you'll see how they work and how easy they are to add to your image and to modify to fit your particular image. And of course this collection comes with, let's take a quick look here. We've got our basic actions, some mini retouch actions, pretty film all in one actions, and our play all action is amazing. It'll play all of these so you can preview them and turn the little eye on and off. Black and white actions, our add-ons, more film, classic matte, dull the color, the list goes on. And we have our bonus light leaks here down at the bottom, brushes, and lastly our workflow actions. So pretty cool, and we're going to go ahead and play with this collection right now to create this dreamy, filmy, gorgeous edit in the city. So what I did was group all the actions together so I could show you a real quick before and after. This is the image straight out of camera, very pretty, cute. It's unedited, and I wanted to make it a little bit dreamy, filmy. I added the light leaks, which made it a little bit more dreamier and retro, but this is the after, so you can take this as far as you'd like. Keep the clean edit without the light leaks, but I'm, of course, going to show you the edit with the light leaks because I feel like it's super fun, and you could always leave those out or add them on. Okay, so I'm just going to throw these in the trash so I can show you how I created this look from start to finish using the Pretty Actions film collection. So let's just jump right in here, guys. We're going to use our processing actions. I'm going to select darken and press play. Okay. So what I like to do when I run an action is just bring the opacity down to 0 and work my way up until I find that it's working best with the image. Okay, so this is making the image a little dark, but I kind of want the background darker, not my subject. So I'm going to use the built-in layer mask. The layer mask is the white rectangle to the on your action, basically. So it's to the right of the action folder. I'm going to make sure my brush is selected and black is the foreground color. And my opacity I'm going to bring down to about 35%. And you can make your brush larger and smaller using both your left and right bracket keys. And I'm just going to softly brush over my subject. I don't have to make perfect brush strokes here. I just want it to look nice and soft. And I actually think, now I can always remove more later, but I'm just going to keep that as is. And let's scroll down to our pretty film actions. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and run Sparkle and Shine. Okay, I love the contrast and depth this brings to an image. We're actually going to keep this one pretty low. I want to keep that right at 8%. And let's go ahead and add another pretty film action, Chantilly lace. I'm going to click play. Okay, gorgeous. I'm loving it. So again, we're going to bring that down to 0 and just work our way up until we find that it's working best with the particular image. I'm going to keep this one pretty low, right around 10%. You don't need to use an action at complete opacity. You can bring them down to a lower opacity and mix and match actions, which is really fun in creating that nice custom look. Okay, so I want to brush this off of my subject. I'm going to bring the opacity up a little bit more, and you can be more careful than I am. I just want to breeze through this to show you guys what this collection can do and how much fun it is to play with, and of course how you can create this awesome look. Okay, so I'm liking that. And you can always click on the little eye or box next to that particular action to turn it on and off and see exactly how that's affecting your image. All right, so let's move on here, guys. We're going to run another action. Let's see here. We're going to run Vintage Dream. Press play and watch the magic begin. I love the color tones that we're getting with this. Okay, so I'm just gonna bring it down all the way down to 0. Let's keep this one right around 27, 28%. Now I don't want to remove any of this from my subject. We'll keep that as is. I do want to add a little bit of a color pop, so I'm going to add filmy color. Okay, and we're going to watch that play, bring the opacity down so we can fit this particular enhancement with our image. I think I'm going to keep this one right at, about 15%, 15, 16%. And I'm going to click on my layer mask, make sure my brush is selected here in the Tools panel. Black is the foreground color. I'm going to bring my brush opacity down to about 35, 38%. And I'm going to brush a little bit of this off the girl. I don't want her skin and hair and body to appear overly saturated. So I'm kind of clicking over her hands and feet and skin here. I'm not taking all of the enhancement away from her, which is why I brought the opacity down a little bit on my brush. It can often look unnatural if you take 100%. So if I just keep brushing over an area, I'll end up removing a little bit more each time. Okay, so next we're going to add clean film warm. Okay, so we're going to bring the opacity down again. You guys know the drill. And I'm just going to bring this up to, whoops, let's keep that at 8%. We can click on the little eye to see how that's affecting our image. I'm loving the edit so far. We are almost done, guys. Okay, so let's just add some glitz. Okay, and this is our last pretty film action. One of the all-in-one actions. And I want to keep this one pretty low as well. We're just going to add a nice subtle and soft enhancement to the image. We're going to keep that right around 7% before and after. So we're just getting nice, subtle enhancements here. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys a real quick hand edit just to kind of make your subject pop a little bit more. We're going to click on the adjustments icon here at the bottom of the layers panel, the little half circle. Click on levels, which you can use in Photoshop CS, CC, and Elements. So feel free to follow along. I'm just going to make the darks a little bit darker. You can see that this is affecting the entire image, but just pay attention to what it's doing to her skin, because that's where we will be selectively adjusting or applying it in just a moment. Okay, so I'm going to bring the midtones up in towards the left a little to bring a little contrast. Let's bring the brights up. Actually, just a smidge. Okay, and I am going to take away some of the highlights, bring the highlights in here to the left. And let's just bring the shadows in just ever so slightly. And you can see the before and after by clicking on the little eye at the bottom of this panel. I wanted to deepen her skin a little bit. I felt like it was a little washed out. And I added that contrast and a little bit of brightness. Okay, so to take away the enhancement, remember black conceals and white reveals. So I'm going to press Control or Command I. My entire enhancement is hidden. Now I'm going to keep my brush selected, bring white to the foreground color because what? White reveals, that's right. Okay, click on your opacity, bring it all the way up. And I'm just going to dab that over her skin. And again, you'll just want to be a little more careful than I am here. I just want to breeze through this. And I'm just going to brush that over her face and her hands real quickly. It just deepens her skin just a little bit. I just felt like it was a little washed out, and I can bring the opacity down a little if I'd like as well. So I know you guys are dying to see the light leaks, and I'm going to show you a few of them and what they can do to your image, and of course, how easy and fun they are to use. So first we're going to click on Pastel Dream and click play and watch the magic begin. Ta-da! I love it. Okay. I'm actually going to flip this one. So to do that, I'm going to click on the overlay and go to Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal. Now I'm going to have to grab my Move tool to align it with my image. Okay, So I like that. I want to brush some of it off the girl and the balloons. I feel like it's washing out the balloons. So I'm going to grab my brush again, bring black to the foreground color. I selected the little white rectangle, which is my layer mask, and I'm going to bring the opacity down, make my brush a little bit larger, and I'm just going to spot dab or spot click here just to remove some of that. There we go. Okay, so let's add another one. And I think I want to take the opacity down. We're going to keep that right at 75. Okay, we're going to run Pretty Sunrise and we'll be all done. Bam. Isn't that amazing? I love the creamy pastel filmy look that is just screaming at me right now with this image. This is so gorgeous. So fun. It was so easy to do. I absolutely love playing with this collection, and I'm so happy that we were able to show you real quick before and after a city edit using the Pretty Actions film collection. Who's ready for a before and after? I know I am. So real quick, before, after all of our enhancements. Very dreamy, very, very filmy. We've got the light leaks in here. Again, if you're not a light leak fan, we can just turn those off or keep one or two of them. Still a very, very fun edit. If I took the light leaks out, I may have made the image a little bit brighter and not have darkened the background. I darkened the background in this case because otherwise with the light leaks it would have been just a little bit washed out. As always, thank you so much for tuning in and checking out Pretty Photoshop Actions.